Welcome to VRPR. So today we're going to do a comparison video between two platforms, Quest 2 and PC. I am using the virtual desktop and the Quest is running, of course, standalone. I am connected through an Ethernet cable on my computer and connected to the Wi-Fi 6 through my Oculus Quest. So let's get going. The graphic wise, I did find some differences. The texture is not that great on the Quest 2, as you can see. It's pretty dark right now. As you can see, the hand does not have that much detail to it. And once I move on the Quest side, right next to the chair, you'll see the texture is not that good. Other than that, the gameplay and everything is perfect. Um, it There is no difference between them. You will see later on that there is some issues with anti-aliasing. You'll see if I tilt my head, the edges will pop up. So in the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit of a review as well. This is a really, really scary game. There are a couple of things that I did not like about this game, which is the doors. They are from hell. Like, seriously, every time I want to open a door, I would first need to figure out, does it open inwards or outwards? So, but it's part of the game. And it's just nitpicking. It's not something that, could affect the gameplay, but yeah, it's pretty annoying. Now, the graphics, I did not play the entire game on Quest, but I did play the entire game on PC. And I do have the complete walkthrough. It's pretty long, and it was my first time playing the game, and I recorded it. So you will see that I am running around a lot, which this game is about to a degree. There is no fast travel, there is no you know shortcuts. You have to walk from one area to the other. It's not a huge map, but still, it does sometimes get a little annoying that, from one side of the house all the way to the other. But that does also tell me that the person who's living there is pretty rich. So, anyways, now as you can see on the PC side, um, it's really, really beautiful, and they have done an excellent job on Quest as well. You can see there is not much of a difference. You see the texture of the tree is not that great if you go really close to it. But having said that, in PC, it does the same thing. Just a little bit about colors. On the Quest, the colors are a little bit faded, but on the PC, they're pretty sharp. Now, as you can see, if you look at the background, the wall is a little bit lighter, and the shadows are a little bit better on the PC side. On the Quest, not so much. But I don't think while you're playing this game you will notice, or at least I did not notice all of those things. I only noticed it after I recorded the video and I was reviewing it. As you can see, the gameplay is exactly the same. There is no difference in the gameplay. I think with the Quest, as you can see, the wall and the door is slightly different, just very slightly. Now, once we go in, you will see the problem with anti-aliasing. I will see a lot of corners, a lot of edges, and especially if I tilt my head just a little bit, there the edges will appear like they would be very, very prominent. But other than that, if you look, there is not much of a difference. Um, Now, on the Quest side, I went really close to the poster, but I could not make out what it said, at least at the bottom. But in the PC game, if you look at the part one of my walkthrough, I was able to read whatever text was. So as you can see now, I am tilting my head, and if you look at those two lamps, I don't know if you can completely see it, but there you would see a lot of angles, like a lot of edges. So yeah, now as you can see on the Quest side, the hand, the detail, the watch, it's pretty good, but it's not what the PC can do. So if you have a PC which can run something like 980 or 1080, I would really, really recommend that you guys play the game through the PCVR. But if you are only looking for the gameplay, um, it's I think it's one of the better games out there. Graphics wise, the story wise, story is really, I think the story is pretty dark. And I do have a theory that the ghost that we saw, the specter we saw in the very first scene, who was telling us to, come and look for us. I think that is ghost of not Ed, but someone else. So yeah, it's I would really, really recommend this game. Now, one thing, if you don't like the slow-paced games, I would say this is not for you. But please try it, or at least give it a shot once. So, if you look here, now here's the biggest difference that I saw. All the pots are like kind of black color, not silver as they are on the PC. But everything else, not much of a difference. Even the texture over here is pretty close, and I'm thinking that's because even on the PC side, the textures were not that great, at least on the kitchen side. So if we go, once we go a little bit further out, as you can see the bottle, there is no, like, it's a dark bottle. It does not have, you cannot see the liquid inside. And I think on the PC side, it's the same thing. You would not be able to see what's in the bottle. So now, once we go into that party room, you will see the difference is pretty minimum. Um, Only time the difference would come in when there are some shadows or some text that is on the pictures. You would only see the difference over there. Other than that, I don't think you will notice much of a difference. Just your hands, if you keep looking at your hands, you will see that there is a little bit of difference. There's a sheen on the hand, and the blood does change some colors, but I think that's negligible. If you are really, if you enjoy the storyline, if you really enjoy the gameplay, then yeah, whichever platform you're playing at, you'll enjoy this game. Now, I did not play this game a lot on the Quest 2. I just did it for this review, or not review actually, just for comparison. And I was pretty surprised the power that they, or the graphics they can get from this ARM processor. Keep in mind that this is a ARM processor, um, not an x86 or AMD 64 processor, which is quite powerful. I do have GTX 1080, but I upgraded it to 6900X, and still then I cannot. find that big of a difference. So if you guys have any low or older video card, still try it. If you have purchased it, go to the Oculus store, Oculus app, download it. All right, cool. Thank you, guys.